Johnny Galecki's life is a story shaped by two powerful forces: performance and belonging. For decades, audiences knew him through unforgettable characters, from the young Rusty Griswold to David Healy, and finally Leonard Hofstadter, the thoughtful physicist searching for connection in a complicated world. Yet behind those roles was a person who learned independence unusually early and spent years discovering what home truly meant. His journey moved from childhood stages in Chicago to television fame, from carefully constructed sets to a quieter life built around family and personal memories. After stepping away from the spotlight following the end of The Big Bang Theory, Johnny found a different kind of fulfillment away from constant production. His return to the stage represents not a search for lost fame, but the continuation of a life shaped by experience, reflection, and a deeper understanding of identity. A childhood defined by imagination and responsibility. Johnny Galecki was born John Mark Galecki on April 30, 1975, in Belgium, while his father, Richard, served in the United States Air Force. After his family returned to America, they settled in Oak Park, Illinois, near Chicago, where Johnny grew up as the oldest of three children. His mother, Mary Lou, worked in mortgage consulting, while his father later dedicated his career to helping veterans who had lost their sight. From a young age, Johnny possessed a restless imagination and an instinctive need to create stories. He talked constantly, invented characters, and transformed ordinary moments into elaborate ideas. His family joked about challenging him to remain silent, because conversation seemed to be his natural state. Acting was not simply a childhood hobby for him. By the age of 4, he already believed it was the path he wanted to follow. Chicago's theater community gave him the environment to turn imagination into discipline. He learned that acting required more than creativity. It demanded patience, preparation, listening, and the ability to repeat a scene until it reached the level required. Those early lessons became the foundation for a career that would eventually place him among television's most recognizable performers. The first steps toward professional acting. Johnny's early involvement in theater quickly developed into professional opportunities. While many children experienced a traditional routine of school, friends, and familiar surroundings, Johnny's life increasingly revolved around rehearsals, auditions, and performances. Tutors began replacing parts of ordinary classroom experiences as acting commitments grew. The balance between childhood and career became increasingly complicated because opportunities in entertainment rarely waited for someone to be fully prepared emotionally. When his family moved to California to support his acting career, the expectation was that the transition would become a shared family move. However, after several months, his parents and younger siblings returned to Illinois, while Johnny remained in California because of a professional commitment. At 14 years old, he faced circumstances that required a level of independence far beyond what most teenagers experience. The entertainment world provided structure through scripts, schedules, and professional expectations, but life outside the studio demanded that he create his own stability. That period shaped his understanding of responsibility and resilience. It also influenced many of the characters he later portrayed, particularly those searching for acceptance and connection. Growing up alone in Hollywood. At 14, Johnny Galecki lived alone in a furnished studio apartment in Burbank while continuing his acting work. He traveled through Los Angeles on a motorcycle, sometimes wearing a mirrored helmet visor that concealed how young he was. The image represented a strange contrast, a teenager navigating one of the world's busiest cities, because professional commitments required him to arrive prepared and dependable. On set, everything was organized. Call sheets explained the schedule, costumes were prepared, scripts provided direction, and marks showed actors where to stand. Outside that environment, Johnny had to manage everyday responsibilities himself. Looking back years later, he described the situation as unusual and complicated, recognizing both his ability to handle it and the fact that such responsibility arrived very early. When one project ended, stability did not immediately follow. He later shared living arrangements with other young people trying to survive in the entertainment industry, experiencing the uncertainty of auditions and temporary opportunities. Those years taught him professionalism and adaptability, but they also created a lifelong appreciation for genuine connection. The desire for belonging that appeared in many of his later roles reflected something personal that had existed long before audiences met Leonard Hofstadter. Finding an education on Roseanne, Johnny's career changed significantly when he joined the cast of Roseanne in 1992. Before becoming part of the world of The Big Bang Theory, he had already experienced two very different versions of television family life. His role as Rusty Griswold in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation introduced him to a major film production and taught him how to work alongside established comedic performers. However, Roseanne became the place where he truly developed as an actor. Playing David Healy, a sensitive and uncertain young man, allowed Johnny to explore emotional complexity within a long-running ensemble. The Connor family was not idealized. Their world included financial struggles, disagreements, exhaustion, and imperfect expressions of love. David fit naturally into that environment because he was vulnerable without being weak and caring without being flawless. Johnny later described his years on the series as his education. Watching performers such as John Goodman and Laurie Metcalf taught him the importance of listening, timing, and supporting an ensemble rather than simply seeking attention. Roseanne gave him something he had rarely experienced: continuity. He could return to the same workplace, deepen a character over time, and learn from the same group of performers. The experience became one of the most important foundations of his career, beyond David Healy. When Roseanne concluded in 1997, Johnny Galecki entered a new stage of his career carrying both success and uncertainty. David Healy had introduced him to millions of viewers, but being strongly associated with one beloved character created the challenge of proving that he could become someone entirely different. Instead of disappearing after the series ended, Johnny used the following years as a period of creative exploration. He accepted roles that allowed him to experience different genres, personalities, and storytelling styles. His appearances in projects such as I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Opposite of Sex, Bounce, and Vanilla Sky showed that he was willing to move beyond the emotional qualities audiences connected with David. However, recognition on the same level as Roseanne did not immediately arrive again. This period required patience, because artistic growth often happens quietly before the public notices the results. Johnny also returned to theater, where he discovered a deeper form of performance. Unlike television and film, stage acting required complete concentration because every moment happened live. His work in The Little Dog Laughed demonstrated his ability to handle complex emotional situations and earned him respect in the theater world. These experiences expanded his confidence and prepared him for the role that would eventually redefine his career, choosing Leonard Hofstadter. When Johnny Galecki joined The Big Bang Theory in 2007, he faced a career decision that would shape his future. He was originally considered for the role of Sheldon Cooper, a character built around strict logic, unusual habits, and a distinctive comedic style. However, Johnny felt a stronger connection to Leonard Hofstadter, a character whose emotional journey offered more depth. Leonard was a brilliant physicist, yet his greatest struggles were not scientific. They involved relationships, confidence, acceptance, and the desire to feel valued by others. Johnny recognized that Leonard represented a more human kind of story. Instead of simply creating humor through unusual behavior, Leonard allowed audiences to experience the emotional side of a group of highly intelligent but socially complicated people. Sheldon often created conflict through his inability to understand ordinary social expectations, while Leonard frequently became the person who helped others communicate and reconnect. Johnny's performance depended on subtle emotions rather than constant attention. He allowed Leonard to be insecure without becoming weak, caring without becoming unrealistic, and humorous without losing emotional honesty. This choice became one of the most important decisions of his career because Leonard became the emotional center of a series that eventually became one of television's most successful sitcoms, The World of Apartment 4A. The success of The Big Bang Theory came from its ability to combine unusual interests with universal emotions. Although the characters often discussed science, technology, comic books, and intellectual challenges, the heart of the series was about friendship, acceptance, and finding people who understood you. Leonard Hofstadter became the character who connected the audience to this unusual world. His relationship with Penny became one of the show's most important emotional journeys because it represented two very different people learning how to understand each other. Johnny played Leonard's feelings with honesty, allowing him to experience insecurity, jealousy, hope, and affection without making him appear unrealistic. Over 12 seasons, the apartment shared by Leonard and Sheldon became more than a setting. Apartment 4A became a familiar place where viewers returned each week to watch friendships develop and characters grow. The original group expanded as Amy, Bernadette, and Penny became central parts of the story, transforming the series into a larger portrait of friendship and family. Johnny's greatest contribution often came through his reactions and emotional awareness. He understood that comedy is not only created through dialogue, but also through connection between performers. Leonard remained memorable because Johnny showed the humanity behind the awkwardness. The importance of privacy. Throughout his career, Johnny Galecki developed a reputation for protecting his personal life from excessive public attention. Growing up as a young actor taught him independence and professionalism, but it also encouraged him to create boundaries between his public identity and private experiences. Although fame brought recognition, Johnny preferred not to turn personal relationships into public stories. This approach became especially meaningful during his years on The Big Bang Theory, when audiences around the world followed Leonard and Penny's fictional relationship. Behind the scenes, Johnny and Kaylee Cuoco developed a real relationship during the early years of the series. They chose to keep their romance private while they were together, allowing their personal connection to remain separate from the characters they portrayed. Eventually, the relationship ended, but both actors handled the transition with respect and maturity. Their ability to continue working together demonstrated emotional strength and professionalism. Instead of allowing personal history to affect their creative partnership, they maintained trust and friendship. Their experience showed that relationships can change while respect remains. Johnny's careful approach to privacy reflected a larger part of his personality, a desire to protect meaningful experiences rather than allowing them to become another part of public entertainment. Loss, fire, and the meaning of home. In 2017, Johnny Galecki experienced a life-changing moment when his rural California home was destroyed during the Hill Fire. Although the loss was significant, Johnny was fortunate that he was away from the property and that no one was harmed. His response after the fire revealed a perspective that had developed throughout his life. Instead of focusing only on his personal loss, he recognized that many people in the surrounding community were facing similar struggles and uncertainty. He expressed appreciation for the firefighters, emergency workers, and everyone who helped during a difficult time. The event represented a deeper understanding of what home truly means. A house can hold valuable possessions, memories, and years of personal history, but the emotional meaning of a home comes from the people, experiences, and moments connected to it. Throughout Johnny's career, many of the places that felt familiar were temporary. Television apartments, studios, and production spaces became important parts of his life, but they existed for a limited period before disappearing. The fire reminded him that even permanent structures can change or vanish. What remains after such losses are the memories created within those spaces and the relationships formed there. This understanding became even more meaningful when another important place disappeared from his life years later. The ending of The Big Bang Theory and the removal of Apartment 4A would bring a different kind of goodbye, showing Johnny once again that a place's true value comes from what happens inside it, not only from the walls surrounding it. Saying goodbye to The Big Bang Theory. After 12 seasons filled with friendships, achievements, and unforgettable moments, The Big Bang Theory came to an end in 2019. The decision followed Jim Parsons' choice to conclude his journey as Sheldon Cooper, and the creative team determined that continuing without the complete central group would not capture the same spirit that had made the series successful. For Johnny Galecki and the rest of the cast, the final episodes represented much more than the completion of another television project. They marked the closing of a chapter that had shaped their professional and personal lives for more than a decade. Leonard Hofstadter had become one of the most important characters of Johnny's career, and saying goodbye to him carried emotional meaning. Apartment 4A was never an actual home, but years of rehearsals, conversations, friendships, and shared experiences transformed it into a place filled with memories. The cast had spent countless hours creating stories, solving creative challenges, and celebrating successes within those walls. When the sets were eventually dismantled, the physical location disappeared, but the influence of the series remained. The friendships built during the show continued beyond the production schedule, and the memories created there became part of the actors' personal histories. For Johnny, leaving Leonard behind was not about losing an identity. It was about honoring a character that had given him 12 meaningful years, and accepting that even the most successful chapters eventually reach their natural ending. A health scare during success. During the successful years of The Big Bang Theory, Johnny Galecki faced an unexpected personal challenge when he developed Bell's palsy. He woke with weakness on one side of his face, and initially worried that something much more serious had happened. For an actor, facial expression plays a major role in communication, emotion, and performance. So the sudden change created understandable concerns about his ability to continue working. However, Johnny's immediate reaction reflected a quality that had followed him since childhood: responsibility. Instead of thinking only about his own uncertainty, he quickly considered how the production could continue if he was unable to perform. He thought about ways he could still contribute, even if his role as an actor became difficult. Medical professionals later confirmed that he was experiencing Bell's palsy, and he gradually recovered while continuing his professional commitments. The experience revealed how deeply responsibility had become part of his personality. From his early years working as a child actor to his long career in television, Johnny had developed a habit of preparing for challenges and supporting those around him. Although the health scare was frightening, it did not define his career or prevent him from completing Leonard Hofstadter's story. Instead, it became another reminder that success does not eliminate uncertainty. Even during periods of achievement, unexpected difficulties can appear, and personal strength is often revealed through the way someone responds to those moments. Building a life away from Hollywood, while The Big Bang Theory was still continuing, Johnny Galecki began creating a life that existed beyond the demands of Hollywood. After spending many years in Los Angeles, he purchased property near Nashville, Tennessee, searching for a different pace and environment. Hollywood had provided him with remarkable opportunities, professional recognition, and lasting friendships, but Tennessee offered something quieter and more personal. The property represented a place where life could unfold naturally instead of being created around scripts, schedules, and production requirements. For much of his career, Johnny's daily routine had been shaped by auditions, filming, rehearsals, and the expectations of the entertainment industry. The move allowed him to experience a different kind of stability. Instead of living around temporary sets, he could create memories connected to everyday life and personal relationships. Becoming a father also changed his perspective and encouraged him to focus on experiences beyond acting. Family, personal growth, and meaningful moments became equally important parts of his identity. The transition showed that success is not measured only by professional accomplishments or public recognition. A fulfilling life also depends on having a place where genuine connections can develop. Tennessee became a symbol of that change, representing a home built around real experiences rather than fictional worlds created for television. 7 years away from acting. After The Big Bang Theory ended, Johnny Galecki stepped away from acting for 7 years, choosing to focus on life beyond the entertainment industry. This period was not about losing ambition or walking away from creativity. Instead, It represented a deliberate decision to experience a different rhythm of life after decades of constant work. Johnny began acting as a child, meaning much of his identity had been connected to auditions, rehearsals, filming schedules, and the responsibility of performing. The years away from television allowed him to experience ordinary moments that did not involve cameras or scripts. He focused on family, personal development, and creating memories outside the public eye. This time also changed the way he viewed acting. Earlier in his career, performance was closely connected to opportunity, stability, and professional survival. Later, acting became something he could return to because of genuine artistic interest rather than pressure. The distance helped him understand that stepping away from the spotlight does not erase achievement or reduce the value of past work. Instead, it can provide perspective and allow a person to return with a stronger sense of purpose. Johnny's 7 years away became an important chapter because they showed that a meaningful life can continue even when the cameras stop recording. When he eventually chose to return to acting, he did so with greater confidence, personal balance, and appreciation for the craft that had shaped so much of his journey. Returning to the stage. In 2026, Johnny Galecki's return to theater marked an important new chapter in a career that had already crossed several generations of storytelling. Returning to Chicago, the city where he first discovered acting as a child, represented more than a professional decision. It was a return to the place where his creative journey began. But this time, he came back with decades of experience, personal growth, and a much deeper understanding of himself. His role as Tennessee Williams in Kowalski offered him the opportunity to explore a completely different type of performance from the television roles that made him famous. After years of being recognized as Leonard Hofstadter, Johnny was not attempting to recreate past success or repeat a familiar formula. Instead, he was choosing a challenge that required emotional honesty and artistic commitment. Theater demands complete presence because every performance happens in real time. There are no camera angles to adjust, no editing process to shape a scene, and no opportunity to correct a moment after it has passed. For Johnny, returning to the stage reflected the confidence of an actor who no longer needed recognition to validate his work. He returned not as a young performer searching for a place in the industry, but as an experienced artist carrying years of personal and professional memories. Chicago became both the beginning of his journey and the location of a meaningful renewal. The meaning of home. The story of Johnny Galecki's life has always been connected to the search for belonging and the changing definition of home. From childhood, acting provided structure and direction when his life followed an unusual path. The stages where he first performed, the television sets where he built relationships, and the characters he portrayed all became temporary places of connection. However, each of those spaces eventually disappeared when productions ended. Over time, Johnny discovered that home was not limited to a building, a career, or a particular location. True belonging came from the people, memories, and experiences that remained meaningful even after circumstances changed. His years away from Hollywood allowed him to create a life based on personal relationships rather than professional achievements. Instead of measuring his identity through roles and recognition, he learned the importance of everyday moments and genuine connections. The houses and sets connected to his career represented important chapters, but they were never the complete definition of who he was. A home is created through shared experiences, trust, and emotional connection. Johnny's journey showed that a person can spend years searching for a place to belong and eventually discover that belonging comes from within and from the relationships built along the way. The legacy of Leonard Hofstadter. Leonard Hofstadter remains one of Johnny Galecki's most memorable characters because he represented emotions that audiences around the world could understand. Although Leonard was a brilliant physicist surrounded by intelligence and achievement, his greatest challenges were deeply human. He struggled with confidence, relationships, acceptance, and the desire to feel valued by the people around him. Johnny's performance allowed viewers to see beyond Leonard's awkwardness and recognize the vulnerability underneath. Leonard was not presented as a perfect person. He could be insecure, uncertain, jealous, and occasionally make mistakes, but those imperfections made him relatable. His greatest strength was his ability to continue searching for connection despite his fears. Through Johnny's portrayal, Leonard became more than a source of comedy. He became a representation of the universal desire to be understood and accepted. His relationship with Penny reflected the complicated process of learning how to love and trust another person while still carrying personal insecurities. Leonard's popularity came from the fact that many viewers recognized parts of themselves in him. Johnny transformed a fictional scientist into a character defined by emotion, kindness, and the courage to remain open despite uncertainty, a career defined by growth. Johnny Galecki's career is not defined by one television series or one famous character. Instead, it represents decades of growth, adaptation, and continuous learning. He began as a young performer discovering theater in Chicago, then developed his skills through television, film, and stage work. Each role contributed something different to his understanding of storytelling and performance. David Healy taught him the importance of ensemble work and emotional honesty. Leonard Hofstadter introduced him to a worldwide audience and allowed him to explore the balance between comedy and vulnerability. Beyond those major roles, every experience added another layer to his development as an actor and as a person. His career also demonstrates that success is not only measured by constant visibility. Some of the most important periods of growth happen away from public attention. The years he spent focusing on family and personal life after The Big Bang Theory became another meaningful chapter rather than an absence from his career. Those experiences changed how he viewed acting and allowed him to return with a stronger sense of purpose. Johnny's journey reflects the idea that an artist continues evolving even when the world is not watching. A new chapter beyond the camera. Johnny Galecki's return to acting represents a new beginning shaped by everything he experienced before stepping back from the spotlight. The teenager who once traveled through Los Angeles searching for professional opportunities became an adult who built a family, created a home, and discovered that personal identity extends beyond career achievements. For much of his early life, acting was connected to responsibility and survival. Later, it became a creative choice based on passion rather than necessity. This change transformed the meaning of performance for him. Acting remained an important part of his life, but it no longer carried the pressure of defining his entire existence. His journey from childhood performer to established actor, and then to someone who valued life beyond the camera, reflects a deeper understanding of balance. The stage, television sets, and quiet moments away from entertainment all became parts of the same story. His greatest achievement was not only becoming recognized by millions of people, it was learning that he could step away without losing himself, continue growing without constant public attention, and return to acting because the opportunity genuinely inspired him. Johnny Galecki's next chapter is not about reclaiming the past. It is about moving forward with the confidence that comes from knowing who he is